And we're on 2 minutes past 7. That's not bad for us. So good evening, anyone that is watching already. Welcome to Bonus Action Heroes. Tonight we are delving into the abyss, the Underdark, in our D&D game. I think to recap, it's quite safe to say the escape attempt was interesting. Very interesting. After stealing a key from the guards, they'd managed to open the doorway and began to make their escape, but unfortunately it wasn't long until they were discovered by their drow guard captors, deciding to make a break for the fast-running whitewater. They ran through a cave of Quaggoths. A number fell along the way. Sarith, Shushar, the Kuatoa, and Jimjar, the deep gnome, all fell to drow poison, unconscious on the stairs as they escaped the cell. The rest made a run for it through the Quaggoth lair. Many got away. Drodyn barely got away with his life, badly wounded, as they plummeted down the fast-moving river, trying their best to avoid the rocks and make their escape. Eldeth was hurt badly and lost consciousness. A pool of red blood spreading out from her in the water. And then shortly after, as she drifted by, Malise decided it would be a good idea to insult the drow priestess on the bridge, and was hit with a spell for her efforts, again knocking her unconscious. Others like Daphne and Derendil, carrying the Myconid stool, as well as Sevatar, plummeted down the waterfall into the water below. And it was only when they entered the water that they realised some strange grey oozing mass was beneath the waves, and it attacked a number of the party. And that was where we left off. Top of the round. Just get it to the right place.
I'm not sure I appreciate your description of our escape attempt. I would have called it successful.
I mean, it felt way more in control than what you're describing,
Yeah.
to me, at least. I mean, it was...
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Absolute disaster.
You're only saying that because you're unconscious.
Well, that's the evidence for it being a disaster. Proof is in the dead pudding.
As they say. I don't know who says that, but
The
someone
grey
does.
pudding.
So, you find yourselves where we left off. A number of you, unfortunately, Malise is unconscious. Face down in the water, as is Eldeth, the shield dwarf. And we start with Drodyn.
Hello.
Again, you find yourself in the rapid white water where you've jumped in. You narrowly escaped the Quaggoths, who would, it's safe to say, beat you within a literal inch of your life, or 1 hit point. What would you like to do?
Well, I suppose haul ass towards the waterfall is my only real option there. Try and catch up with Pepido. So it's...
He is invincible.
He is, yeah, as they say. I don't know how his invincibility is going to help me.
No, so you get 20 feet just from the speed of the water. You have seen others bounce off the rocks and take a bit of damage, so be wary of those.
Yep, I'm trying to avoid them. So is it still 30 feet of movement, or is it reduced because of the water?
It is halved because of the water, unless you have a swim speed because of your character. But in effect, you can dash if you wish. Use your action to dash, or a bonus action if you've got that ability.
The water flow was giving us an extra 20 feet, I think, last time.
It was, yeah.
So yeah, I'll do the dash to get over the waterfall.
Okay.
fucking hope for the best.
Yeah, you get to the edge and you just feel your stomach leap up into your throat as gravity takes over, and you plummet down into the water, and you're rather grateful to find that it is deep enough that you don't hit anything on the way down. There we go. Anything else you would like to do?
That'll be it for me.
Okay. So next up is Sevatar.
Okay.
So you've in the water. There's this roiling grey mass beneath the pool. You can't really make it out, but you did see it make contact with Daphne, I believe. She swam past it.
Okay. I'm gonna disengage.
Yep.
Am I still swimming?
You are, but there is no current at the bottom, not significant anyway.
Okay, so I'm gonna 5, 10, 15, get underneath this bridge to try and avoid any missiles that may come from above.
Mm-hmm. Okay, as you swim away, this weird roiling grey mass lashes out and strikes you.
Disengage.
Oh, use disengage.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take opportunity attack. Good. Okay, anything else you would like to do?
No, thank you.
Okay, next up we have Daphne. And Daphne, seeing Malise face down in the water, reaches out with her hands and grabs her. And you get 1 hit point, Malise.
Hallelujah.
You find yourself waking up, coughing water, spluttering, getting it out, this sort of horrible cold water out of your lungs. And Daphne will attempt to swim away. She will swim the same way as Sevatar. Malise, you're up.
So I just cast Spare the Dying on Eldeth, hadn't I, last time?
You had,
she's-
yeah.
She's unconscious, isn't she?
She is, yeah. Does Spare the Dying doesn't give a hit point back, does it? Just
no,
stops
it
them
just stops her from
taking
dying.
death saves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, can I grab her and then just haul ass to the shoreline?
Yeah, you can, yeah. It will probably slow you down even further to swim with her. So I would say probably half your movement again.
Okay,
So
and
we're
then if I take my action to swim as well.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. So go for it
So-
and I'll move Eldeth for you.
And how far did you say that would be?
So it would be, if you're pulling someone behind you, it would be 10 feet
7
per round
okay.
if you've got 30. So if you take an action, that would be 20 in total.
Okay. Game's paused for me. It's not letting me move.
Not now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, and that'll be the end of my go.
Okay, everyone, you see Malise. Literally 1 minute she's face down in the water, dying. Next minute she's coughing up water and suddenly starts swimming frantically with Eldeth dragged behind her. Eldeth will do nothing. The drow up above you seem distracted now. These huge vulture creatures seem to be descending and flying out from the darkness of the high ceiling above. Some of them are attacking the drow. Some of them are just attacking each other. Let out this hideous screeching cry, which hurts your ears, even though they're not that close. So for now, the drow are distracted. So Tink.
Is that the ooze?
It is.
Firebolt the ooze.
Okay, roll to hit. Where is Tink? I can't see her.
She's on the shoreline. She made it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because she can fly, can't she? Okay, what did you get? That is a hit. Yeah, roll
Lovely.
damage.
Yeah. Try not to hit the others. I really am.
So you launch this firebolt, and the very fact that it's entering water seems to just dull the damage just a little bit. But you hurt it. It looks badly wounded. You can see bits of this grey gloop sort of floating to the surface like a layer of oil on the water, but it still seems to be alive. Anything else?
I will just call at the others to hurry up. It's me.
Okay. Stool is under the arm of Derendil, so isn't really doing much other than being very buoyant, which is helping Derendil, who doesn't seem to be the most graceful of swimmers. If you just imagine like the biggest dog you've ever seen, doing a very ineffectual doggy paddle.
Got like a little pool float and he's kicking out behind it.
He is basically, yeah. It's a huge Quaggoth with a mushroom pool float. You can see him sort of almost looking back and forth between this ooze and trying to decide whether to go after it or not. But seeing you all swim away, he just dashes forward. So we are back to the top of the round. Those of you, I think, in fact, Drodyn, you notice running across the bridge, Jorlin, as you're swimming, you see Jorlin running across the bridge and running south. Just as he goes, Asher is there, the drow priestess, being attacked by one of these huge vulture creatures. She seems to be holding it off, but it looks like it's going to win eventually. He seems to just ignore her and just dashes behind them and runs off out of sight. And Drodyn, you're up. Oh, hang on, the ooze hasn't gone. Where's the ooze gone? Oh, there we go. Sorry, it's the ooze now.
You couldn't have just let us have this.
No. This ooze seems to move through the water at a speed that seems unnaturally so, but lurches at Sevatar and launches an attack. There's a 10 to hit, which I'm guessing misses, even with no armor and no equipment.
Yeah, that's correct. AC 13.
Look at you. Drodyn, you're up.
I'm just going to do the full 30 movement of a dash to get up there.
Okay, good call. Good call.
You said there's no current anymore down here, I presume.
There's no current. No, there's no current. It is just relatively still water. There's some ripples and bubbles from the waterfall, but it doesn't seem to flow anywhere that you can see readily anyway. As you're all making your way, you realise now, as well as these huge vulture creatures, there's these strange red embers in the air, as if some huge fire is burning somewhere, but you can't smell fire and you can't see. It's just, they literally seem to be descending out of the ceiling from nowhere. Sevatar, you're up.
Sorry, 18.
Sorry.
Well, couldn't get away from it by disengaging, so I'm going to accept that it might hit me with a bonus action and just double dash to the shoreline, which is what, 20, 30?
It is. Yeah, do you want me to measure it for you? Where are you?
15, 20, 30.
That's about 40. Yeah.
Oh, wrong character, I think. I'm down here. By the ooze.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
How far do I get?
So what's your movement? So you would get 15 for a thing, and then another 15. So you would get 30 feet. You would get to about here.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. About there, I think.
Yeah.
And
so this ooze,
Yep.
Yeah, it whips out another of this weird grey tendril, which sort of goes for your legs as you're swimming away, and you feel the water move around you, but it just narrowly misses. There's this noxious smell in the water as well as it does so, but you get away from it. Anything else from yourself?
That's it for me, thanks.
Okay, Daphne is going to
desperately trying to get away.
Yeah, Daphne just makes a double dash as well, and she sort of gets to the shore and starts walking out onto the beach towards Tink. Malise.
I'm gonna do the same. Just gonna try and keep going, dragging Eldeth with me. I think I can get to just behind Daphne.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you do that. You're desperately swimming away. You can hear these things splashing in the water behind you, and these huge vulture creatures, the shouts of the drow to one another, the sounds of battle all around you. Eldeth is unconscious. Tink.
Firebolted it again.
Go for it.
Ooh.
Natural 20. Roll damage. Nice. How would you like to do it? Your firebolt streams out of your hand straight under the water, and you just see this almost like an implosion. This fireball sort of comes out and then implodes back in. How would you like to kill it?
You just described it, Matt. It's like, when you blow bubbles in a milkshake.
Yeah, this weird grey goo just floats up to the surface.
Like bubble tea.
Like bubble tea.
That's nothing like bubble tea. Do you even remember?
Yeah, bubble tea's just weird. Yeah, this thing appears to be dead.
Lovely.
Anything else you would like to do?
I'll just start backing up a little bit, waiting for everyone else, but
Yeah.
starting to make a move. That's it.
Okay. Cool. Derendil again, doing his not very impressive doggy paddle with Stool, manages to get to the shore and begins to climb out of the water. And we're back to Jorlan, who you can't see what he's doing. Drodyn. You there, Jamie?
I didn't fucking unmute myself, did I? It's just dash all the way up to next to Malise, and that's the extent of it.
Hey. Okay. Savitar, you're up as well. You're quite close to the shore now. You can see the others climbing out of the water.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Offer any assistance as I'm going for the young dwarf lady, etc., and just help everybody get out of the water when I'm on shore myself.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is everyone's out of the water. If you like, rather than keep get you out of the water. You find yourselves out of the water now. There's a number of drow on the bridge. They seem to be looking at you. You hear one of them shouting Undercommon that the prisoners are escaping, but no one seems to react to him. In fact, as he shouts that, he seems to look across the bridge, and you see his face sort of change with horror, and he just begins running this way, as does his colleague. You can only assume towards Asher, being attacked by one of these things. Daphne again will get out of the water. Tink, would you like to do anything? Muted?
Yes, they're muted this time.
Thank you. Oh gosh. Can someone up here? Can someone help Eldeth so we can keep running?
Are we still in like initiative turns?
You can kind of drop out. We're in semi-initiative, so we'll keep the order, but until you come across something that you need to battle, just don't move longer than your movement allows.
Okay, I would
in
like
one
to
go.
cast. I'd like to cast Cure Wounds on Eldeth.
Okay, roll for it.
Oh, 8.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you see her sort of cough up water. The colour comes back into her cheeks, and she's like, "Aye, lads, thanks. What, are we out? What's going on?"
I'll just be kind of like from where she was on the ground, kind of like trying to haul her up and trying to drag her around. She's like, just run.
Okay, yeah, she's with you. You see the panic in her eyes. Okay, let's go. And she runs with you wherever you want to go.
And once I've healed her, can I please heal myself?
You can. Yeah, all around you, you can see these creatures fighting each other, fighting the drow. At the moment, you seem to be in a bit of a dead spot. There's no one around that you can see, unless you can see them. Yeah, that's 7 hit points for yourself as well.
Sorry, I spoke over you. Where's Pepito?
As you look back, you see Bapido and the 2 deep gnomes swimming desperately forward. They don't seem to be impeded by anyone. In fact, there's no one to stop them, and they get to the surface. And Bupido walks out of the water. Bupido is not a good swimmer. Lucky he's invincible. And they join you on the shore. What now, dear chaps and chapesses? Would someone please tell me what the plan is? And Derendil says, holding Stool under his arm. Which path?
One is making a decision so right.
Right. Malice, you would know that right is to Menza Branson.
Okay, and we were attempting to head. Where's my handout?
Anywhere but Menza Baranzan.
Not right.
Not right. I'm in too much of a panic, so I won't have actually been listening to anything that's going on, and I'll just start running off this way. Which I think, if I'm doing it correctly, is left. Would I know?
Okay.
What the other kind of paths where they lead?
Yeah, you believe the middle path, so straight up, leads to the Dark Lake, which is, it's a little bit of a misleading name. Although it is a vast body of water, the Dark Lake is a some parts are open, some parts are tunnels, some parts are huge caverns. It's almost like a network of underground rivers and lakes that stretches across a great deal of the Underdark. If you want to travel by boat, it's a very quick way of doing so. The passage to the sort of left and the south heads towards Gracklstugh, which is a Durgar settlement. Not massively friendly to drow, but they do have an area of the city that visitors are permitted in for trade purposes.
And where had we said that we wanted to head? Because there was Gracklstugh, there was, is it Blingdenstone? Because Gracklstugh is 28 days away, whereas Blingdenstone was 30 days away.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you should have a map in your. You should have a map in your thing. I think Blingdenstone, you would have to head straight across the Dark Lake. The nearest settlement, probably only a week away, would be Slubladup, which is a Kuatoa settlement. Gracklstugh is along the edge of the Dark Lake, and Blingdenstone is sort of the opposite side, so you would have to travel across the Dark Lake to get to it.
Okay, so I'll keep heading left. I'll be heading towards the Dark Lake and just like the Dark Lake's this way. There are areas that we could probably hide at least. It's a mix of lake and tunnels and all kinds of stuff. That makes sense.
Take us to Gracklstugh?
Oh, we can get there by the Dark Lake.
Okay, less talking, more walking, flying, whatever your mode of transport is.
Can I take a look over to the waterfall, see if there's anybody else still plopping out and alive?
You don't see anyone else in the water or falling from the waterfall.
Okay. Then let's go.
Okay, as you begin to, so you're going for the Dark Lake, is that right? The middle one, or the?
I'm following Malise.
1 second. So right was Menza Barangla.
Yeah, Menza Baranza.
Then so straight on was the Dark Lake, and then left was Gracklstugh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I got those two mixed up. So yeah, we're heading towards Gracklstugh then. So left.
Okay. Okay, as you begin walking that way, you see this sort of large wooden container on a rope slowly lowering down towards the ground floor. You can't see what's in it, it's quite high-sided, but you can just about make out 2 Quaggoths winding a handle at the top of the lift. What would you like to do?
Is it making a noise like it might be sending down some reinforcements?
You can hear the rope creaking, you can hear the handle winding. There's definitely the sound. This seems to be made of, well, it's not wood, but it's a wood-like material. You can hear it creaking as if it's loaded with something, but you can't physically see what.
I'm going to continue heading towards it.
Okay, move your characters where you want to be.
I know you don't want us to move more than our movement. Can we move up to it?
Yeah. As it finally reaches the ground, you see one of the panels sort of drop with a bang and hit the floor. And you see Jordyn, the drow warrior with the scarred face and a single white eye, stood there with this predatory grin on his face. He looks at you, Tink, and then looks at Malise. And just smiles. And steps out.
Was this enough chaos for you?
This is your doing, is it? I mean, I thought you might cause a stir, but this is something else. Is this you?
Well, we escaped. What else?
Well, they're nothing to do with me. And as he says that, you hear this screech behind you, Malise, as this huge vulture creature sort of wings flapping. You can see it's got scars and scratches across its face, fresh wounds. Descends from the sky and lands a short distance away from you. We are back in combat, I'm afraid. So we will start at the top with Jordyn. Seeing this thing, he just decides better of it and begins limping as quick as he can off towards the north. Drodyn, you see this thing descend and land behind Malise.
Oh dear. So I am sitting on 2 spell slots, and I have 1 spell that doesn't require a material component. So I'm going to throw a magic missile at it.
For it.
I don't have fucking Beyond 20 turned on. That's a good start. There we go. So that's maths. 9 damage in total.
Okay, what type of damage is that?
It's
Force damage.
force, isn't it? But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this thing seems wounded. This thing seemed wounded already, but you strike it. It seems to damage it, but it's still standing.
Gonna fucking move on.
Anything else?
I will move over a tiny bit. It's
Okay.
about there. And that's it for me.
Okay. Who is up next? Avatar.
Where's the big melee combat furry thing? Never mind. I'll go in anyway. And just make an attack with his dagger, which isn't going to do a great deal. But desperate times and all that.
Yeah, definitely.
$16 to hit.
16 to hit. That is a hit. Roll damage.
Doing a massive 4 piercing damage.
Okay, you strike it with the stolen kitchen knife that you have, And the knife bites, but there's this resistance in the flesh. It just doesn't seem to do as much damage as you would hope.
Yeah.
But you definitely hurt it. Anything else you would like to do?
That's it. I just try and distract it for the others to get wherever they want to get.
Okay. Daphne will run forward. She looks reluctant and is sort of looking towards the nearest exit, but I don't know what she can actually do. There we go. She sort of seems to gain this glowing light in her chest, which then sort of expands and shoots forward at this thing. But unfortunately, she misses. So this thing now will... You see it look between Malise, who it was clearly going for, but Sevatar running up behind it. It lunges at you with these huge talons. Oh, shit. That's a natural 20, I'm afraid. Those 13 points of damage. 12, haven't you? So yeah, this as wounded as it is, it strikes you, and unfortunately, there's a spray of blood for anyone nearby. Malise, the blood sprays on you. It is such a deep wound, and he drops to the floor. Deciding it. It is going to use some of its movement and move up to you. Okay. Malise, you're up. You see this thing just puts Sevatar down, one vicious strike, but this thing seems close to death now.
So I'm going to cast Further Dying on Sevatar, and then my action I'll cast Sacred Flame on the big beastie. So it's a dex saving throw of 12.
Okay.
It's probably got amazing dex, but it's long.
No, it doesn't. It fails. Okay, roll.
1 damage. 6 radiant damage.
How do you want to do it?
Just in panic, so I spare the dying Sevatar, and as I do that, I then kind of reach out towards the creature's face, and you just see this bright beam kind of enter its mouth, and as it's kind of screaming at me, its mouth closes, and you just see this bright kind of light move through its throat and down into like the main body cavity as it cooks from the inside out.
Yeah, you see this thing, just this light bursting from its mouth and its eyes, and as it dies, it seems to just turn to this black dust and drift off. It just loses its form and vanishes, and it's gone completely.
On the description, I've just read Spare the Dying is a touch spell cantrip. Have you got something?
Okay, I will cast Sacred Flame. It will die, and then I will run over.
Not that I'm trying to kill myself.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'll do it in a slightly different order because yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
It's good to get it in the right order. Okay, Tink, you're up. Probably temporarily out of combat again.
Can we get him up so we can keep moving?
I'll try and drag him, but I'm not very strong, so that's gonna be much use. Can I get some help
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, Drodyn will come and help.
Thank you.
Keep all the wounded people together.
Look at all that.
Yeah, he's very pale. He's quite pale anyway, isn't he, Sevatar? But he looks especially pale. He's lost a lot of blood, but he doesn't seem to be deteriorating. Derendil wanders up and offers to help, putting Stool down on the ground. I could.
Him down.
Well, I am the strongest lady.
I
Tell me
can,
what you want me to do, please.
I can probably carry Stool. How much does
Okay.
he weigh?
He probably weighs about 40 pounds, 30, 40 pounds. He's like a big toddler, but quite
I'll
dense.
do my best.
Any like magic stuff?
Sorry?
I saw you help this one. Malise?
All out of spell, sorry. There's very little I can do. We just need to keep moving, we need to get out of here.
I don't think we can afford to meet another one of those. Eldeth sort of pipes up from the back. Aye. I take back all I've ever said about drow, lady. You saved my life. I shall repay that if we get out of here.
Oh, this is all really nice and dandy, but can we please move? And I also want to know if there's anything in that box.
Oh, I'll go have a rummage. Anything useful?
Okay, as you look in the box, there is quite a large chest in there, which Jorlan seemed to have with him. He's left it behind. He's just disappeared into the shadows, and I won't say ran off because he's got quite a pronounced limp, but moved as fast as he could. And indeed, in there you see your equipment.
You're so good to us, Matt.
And I shall put it on the map.
All those healing potions we had. Ah.
Did you?
Well, did we? Did we though?
Did you though? So that chest is actually lootable. So I would be cautious. You should be able to give things between players, but everything that was on your starting characters should be in there, including excluding money.
When Malise realises that there's a chest in there, can she kind of just turn and shout into the dark where she thinks Jordan's kind of gone and just be like, I'm sorry. And then she'll go and grab her stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just you can just loot that chest. Anyone that wants to loot stuff out of it, please feel free.
How?
Yeah. I've been trying to figure that out too.
Oh, really? Is it not working? Can you not double click it?
Nothing happens when you double click it.
No.
If it's just all my original starting equipment, I can just put that back in.
Try now. Try now. Sorry.
I was mashing and it worked for me this time.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
there
because I
it
hadn't
is.
enabled permissions.
I don't remember what I had.
Well, no, you won't. It literally is a huge chest. There's all sorts in there. There's swords. There's not a lot of rations, to be honest, but there's a few. There's crossbows. There's crossbow bolts. There's a couple of suits of leather armor. There's a shield, a number of daggers and weapons. It is a big chest, but
I know what I had because I just switched everything off in my inventory.
Same here.
I'll just switch it back on again to make it easier.
yeah, you can just switch it back on if you've got it on your sheet. If not, just loot something.
I've
What
remembered
do
I
click
can't
to
take
select
everything.
it?
There's on the far right, like the second one in, is loot item. If you hover over it.
Yeah, it kind of looks like there's two icons that look like gems. The first one is looting everything in the stack, so don't use that unless you want like all the weapons. Just use the second one. There you go. I can see stuff disappearing.
I have just remembered I didn't work out, but I couldn't carry all of my equipment anyway because I'm tiny. So I'm just going to take what I really need.
Yeah, wise. You can see a number of candles. There seems to be a holy symbol in there, which I think is probably Malice's. Some old rope, some tinder boxes.
With the crossbow bolt, it's normally 20, isn't it?
Yes. Is there just one? No, there is. It is 20.
Yeah, it comes up asking quantity, so I just wanted to make sure I was putting the right
Well,
quantity
yeah,
in
you
there.
can take as many are there.
Now I've noticed there isn't a spell book in there. So shall we assume that we found one for Drodyn anyway, so he can have his book back?
Your spellbook would be in there, yeah. It would be mean of me to just take your stuff permanently, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's like here's a component pouch, but you can have your spellbook back. Like, oh, thanks, Dick.
I can change my mind, you know.
Thanks, Dick.
Everything disappeared.
Yep. I just took a dagger and a component pouch. I think that will mostly do it for Drodyn, other than like rations and stuff.
But no rations. I won't turn those back on yet.
There's two rations.
Everything's disappeared. It's all gone.
It's like I took it all, but I didn't mean to.
Did you take it all?
I don't know how I did that.
The big button saying loot all, maybe?
I didn't press it.
I trust you.
So I definitely can't move.
You're so laden up now that you can't move.
Yeah, I don't want all that.
Okay. Right. So, in your character sheet, anything you want to give to someone else on your character sheet, there's three icons. One looks like shaking hands. That will let you give the item to someone else, so you can say who you want to give it to. And anything you don't want, just delete. So you've got like
things.
3 sets of clothes. I notice.
Dagger.
I've got 2. I'll take another one. I can throw them.
I think I've got mine.
I have a dagger.
I have a dagger, and I don't need any more.
Thank you for the dagger.
Mace.
Mine.
That sounds very clericy.
Thank you.
Leather armor.
I think that may be for deleting because I just reactivated mine in my inventory. Could be mine.
I don't think I was wearing armor. No. Okay, deleting. Rations.
I've just
If there's only 2, you should probably keep them.
Yeah, you've got 10
Yeah,
days worth by the looks of it.
I've also just realised there's probably stuff in that pile that is Nick's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Nick's stuff is on his sheet, I think. So that's
Oh, okay.
that should be
Okay,
okay.
I'm just going to keep the rations. Arrows.
Yeah, 20. For me, I've got them already, so you can delete 20 from my share.
10 candles. Oh, 5 candles.
Four
Lots of
candles.
candles.
I think I should have 10 candles.
I've got 5.
Not 4. 10.
Then I'll delete the 5. Crossbow bolts.
Well, 1 candle.
Oh, do I have to give you? Oh my god. Okay.
It's okay. I don't need 10 candles. I've got
There you
2
go.
now. It seems. Oh, now I've got 9.
Crossbow
Now I've got
bolts.
10. Now I've got 11.
I made this much harder. I didn't do it on.
I'm not going to use that module again for the looting. It clearly doesn't make it easier.
Holy water.
Cleric.
Yeah.
Oil.
I had some oil flask.
Anyone else?
Me.
Nope, don't delete it. They're all very tiny buttons.
They are.
Torch.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
don't know
have
what
3 of them according to this, which I don't really Oh, yeah, no, that does make sense.
Only I had 10 because I think I picked an explorer's pack.
Then those are yours. I can
Right.
only offer items to Malice, Drodyn, and Daphne. Oh, the party. What happens if I just do the party?
I don't know. Oh no, the
Oh,
party is
no,
just
no,
an icon
no,
for
no.
large maps.
I've got too
We
many
can
of
if
something.
everyone's got everything they need, we can sort that out later.
This is taking a while. Sorry. Sorry.
A simple
Yeah.
idea is if people are using D&D Beyond,
I was
they could
literally about to do this.
they could just re-add their starting equipment.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
probably best to do that and then re-import your character. But yeah, you can hear the sounds of battle as sort of quieting around you now. There's definitely not as many cries, definitely not as many screeches from those strange creatures. And you can hear the drow shouting, sort of trying to maintain order or return it more accurately. You feel like time is running out for you.
Go.
Where are you heading? Gracklstugh exit. Okay, as you all rush forward, you see these 2 drow warriors, 2 young males, running towards you. They see you all in this huge group looting the chest, and they just hold their hands up and in Undercommon, we just want to leave. We won't stop you. And they sort of edge along the wall very slowly with their hands in the air. It's a gap. Do you want to go through it?
Yes. Why not?
Okay, as you move through the gap, you do see the two drow sort of reach for their hand crossbows, but they don't make any offensive move. It just seems to be more out of fear than anything else. And you move past, and they edge a little further along the wall. Seem to have no guts for the fight. Anyone else moving past?
Unconsciously, I'm relying on anybody else to move me.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah. I was supposed to be helping with that. Oh,
Yeah, so Malise is going to try and carry Stool, I think. Derendil will
Yeah.
sort of grab Sevatar under the arms and drag him past the drow guards and out through the narrow tunnel. As you all move past, the drow don't make any move. They just, seeing how outnumbered they are, they just seem to have lost any courage, or they never had any to start with, and let you go. And you find yourselves in pitch black tunnels. Silence. There's the sounds of battle. You leave them behind quite quickly. Down anyway. The red embers, as you get further away, seem to be less prevalent in the air. It is pitch black, so those of you without night vision of any kind will find it incredibly hard to see. You'll need to hold on to your colleagues with dark vision to make progress.
I can cast dancing lights. It only lasts for like a minute, but I can do it at kind of regular intervals just to make sure everyone has
Anyone not see?
some kind of ability.
I've also got dancing lights, so we can alternate,
I
Okay.
can't see a
Well-
bloody thing.
or just have fuck tons of lights.
How do you proceed? So, from now on, there's a decision to be made whenever you travel in the Underdark. And that decision is effectively whether you want to travel quickly, normally, or slow. The disadvantage of traveling quickly is that you will have less time to scavenge, less time to find water, to find food. But you will move as quickly as possible. Moving normally, you'll be able to scavenge, but again, you'll be limited to a degree. If you move slowly, you'll have lots of time for scavenging. But if anyone is pursuing you, then obviously there's more chance of you being caught up with. So it's up to you. So whenever you're moving, you just need to tell me whether you are moving fast, normally, or slowly. You'll also notice on the character sheet there's something called party resources, and that will show you how much food and water you have. Obviously, every single person with you needs, a day's rations and a day's water to survive. If you don't have that, water especially, after 3 days, you will struggle to go on. Food, probably a little longer, but the longer you go without it, the more chance there is of exhaustion.
What's the consumption rate? Is it one of each per day per person?
That is a good question. I just need to remind myself of the water. So I'll dig that out for you in a second, and I'll share that with you all. For now, though, how do you want to proceed? Obviously, you have left the battle behind you, but you heard the sounds of battle dying out, the drow beginning to return to some form of order. You don't know how many of them were lost. You don't know how many of those creatures were lost. After probably about half an hour of finding your way in the darkness, the cavern, you see this light ahead, this dancing blue, strange, eerie light. And as you move forward into the cavern, it opens out probably 60, 70 feet wide. The ceiling 100 foot above you, higher in places. Stalagmites and stalactites everywhere. And you see this weird, it's very hard to explain, but it is like this weird magical energy that seems to dance across the walls and the floor and the ceiling. It pulsates, makes no sound, but it's there all around you. How do you proceed?
I think it's 100% going up closer to inspect it.
What in the world is that? And then as I see Tink going up, I'm going to cast guidance on her.
Okay, roll a d20 for me, please.
I love bad ideas. 19?
Oh, sorry, Malice, not you. What's that roll for? Is
Oh.
that for Arcana check or what you? So Tink, but yeah, Malice needs to roll a check as well, please.
What am I checking? I'm so confused.
You just cast a spell.
Oh no, it's just guidance. It was cantrip.
I know.
So as I see her, oh, it's gonna do some weird shit with some magic, isn't it?
Nothing happens. Tink,
Oh, thanks.
what were you rolling? Sorry, she did guidance to what were you rolling?
I thought you were telling me to roll a d20.
Oh no.
I was just taking a closer look at it, seeing if I could recognize it from my understanding of Arcana.
Okay, is that an Arcana roll then? What's your plus for Arcana?
+4, so that would be 23.
23. Okay, as you've never seen anything like this in your life, and as you get closer, you see some of these weird motes of light and these tendrils of sort of blue-white light. They sort of wrap around your arms and then fly off in different directions. They seem to move, and you notice actually with that roll that they almost seem attracted to those in the party that have magic of any kind. As Malice sort of blessed you and cast guidance, you definitely saw a little flare of light from her, but no other noticeable effect.
I hug Stool a little tighter. It's gonna become my comfort mushroom. Did my spider survive?
Stop.
You search your person for your spider. It appears to be alive.
Yes. Take him out. Give him a little kiss. Put him back. Apologise to him.
It just seems to crawl back into whatever pocket it was in.
The sprinkle
You-
of
you
our
wouldn't-
campaign.
Just about to say
yeah. Yeah. Well, spiders have a brilliant ability when they're in water in that they wrap all their legs around their body to hold an air bubble in. So they're actually quite good. That's why when you flush them down the plug hole, they reappear. It's because they're very good at surviving in water.
Yeah, don't give me nightmares.
Sorry.
I thought it was cool, at least.
No,
It's
it's very
cool, but
true.
it's terrifying.
You're gonna have to name your spider now.
Yeah, I'm thinking either Lawrence or Henry.
Incy.
Don't know why. No. I want to give him a good, strong name. He survived so much.
So everyone, having escaped Vulcan Valve, congratulations. It is a bit odd to do it at this stage in the game, but you are now all level 2. So
Yay!
if you would like to level up, you can. I will just find the rules for food and water, and I'll let you all know.
Ooh,
It's all weird. Yeah. Has anyone got any questions?
I get to pick an arcane
If
tradition.
I do, if I do a medicine check on Sevatar, is there any way I can bring him up to like 1 hit point or anything, or is that?
Yeah,
just,
I'll let you try that if you can. I mean, you've got enough time, so using the sort of taking 20 rule, you spend a great deal of time binding his wounds as best you can. You put him in the recovery position for a while, and it takes a little longer than you would hope. You get worried a few times that he might be dying, but eventually his eyes open with 1 hit point, and he's back in the world.
Where are we?
in a cavern, not really that far away, so we should probably. Well, now that you can at least be up and walking, we can move a little more easily. We're not quite sure what that is, so just be careful of it. Other than that, I don't really know.
What was that thing? Did it take anybody else, or?
No, just you. Sorry.
Nice.
But thank you at least for coming to my defense. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for this.
Sorry, I couldn't do more.
We're away, at least for now.
Aye,
Drodyn,
but will they follow us? That's the question. Or are we free?
I like to imagine Drodyn is in the back, just mumbling to himself, going, trying to make sure everybody got out, and I used my only magic to try and fight things off. No one's thanking me for anything.
Well, I saved lives, goddammit.
Thank you to Drodyn. It was a group effort.
Oh, I didn't actually think anybody could hear me complaining. But you're welcome.
I don't know about all of you, but I think at least for our first 24 hours we should move fast. So if anyone does choose to pursue us, well, hopefully they give up, realizing we've managed to get away.
I agree. We do have some food, at least. Enough for now.
Does
So we're not
anyone-
Aye,
desperate.
how much do we have?
10
Is
days.
it better than that goop that they gave us?
It's just dry rations, but there's 10 days worth.
Aye, so
Does anyone have any spells that can make food or water?
I
Um,
don't at the moment.
After we've slept, I might be able to do something, but I don't really know.
Like I say, right now we're okay. The priority, I think, is putting some distance between us and back there.
I'll happily follow your lead. You lot seem to know what you're doing. I don't. What's the plan? I know that each of us is going to need a pound of food a day. I reckon Derrendil will need 2. It's a big one. And probably a gallon of water a day each. I get the feeling water won't be a problem down here, but food might be.
I mean, I could create water, or I could purify anything that we find to eat or drink, just to make it safe. But I can't create food, unfortunately.
Bev is trying his utmost not to look at Stool.
We'll just have to
To
hunt.
be honest, sorry, small one.
We'll just have to hunt. We all seem capable, aren't we?
What exactly are we going to hunt?
Assume there's some form of wildlife down here.
There'll be numerous fungi and lichen and rodents, insects. Maybe not
Mushrooms and
top,
spiders.
maybe not top of your choice for something to eat, but will keep us alive at least.
Well, to be honest, it can't be worse than what they gave us back there, can it?
No.
So,
I'll get my
what do we
crossbow
do?
out and just keep an eye on. Well, we can all keep an eye out, and if we are to see anything as we move, then if anyone has arrows or a crossbow, or a dab hand with a dagger, then maybe we could just about manage to find enough to survive for now. And if
Well,
we do
let's
find out, I can purify it at least.
pick a direction and or a target destination. Head off as quickly as we can. And as Malise says, keep our eyes peeled. And
Aye, well, if as you say, we've got 10 rations, then that's enough for all of us for one day. So tomorrow, we've got nothing. I don't understand why that drow gave you your equipment. It doesn't make sense.
Oh,
Or
part
am
of
I
being
missing
a drow
something?
is part of being a drow is reveling in the chaos and the misfortune that falls upon others. That drow in particular is not being treated well. It's somewhat revenge, somewhat entertainment. We're lucky though. They could have created the chaos in a very different way.
Is that what to expect from you and him?
Well, so far this has been more than enough chaos for me.
I thought you were
I
dead, to
do
be honest.
generally
Thought
prefer
I
the.
was as well.
Well,
Did you save me
it
out
has
of some
been.
kind of wish to rub it in, or chaos, or you want me to owe you or something?
I haven't decided yet.
Your people took my home.
And I am not my people.
Well, that remains to be seen. And we took it back. And we'd take it back again, but don't get any ideas, lass. You saved me and I owe you, but it doesn't mean I trust you.
Oh, don't worry, I don't trust you either.
Erendil sort of leans forward. Now, there's no need to be, argumentative. We worked together, we escaped. I'm just happy to be out of there. I very much would love to get back to my home and potentially remove this curse so I'm not this great, hulking, stinking creature. So, are we going for Gracklstugh then? Am I understanding correctly?
Well, that would be the closest option, really. I mean, hopefully this will bring us out onto the Dark Lake anyway, and that will give us more options. Is there anywhere that anyone's actually aiming to get to?
Gracklstugh sounds fine to me.
Closest first, I think. Then we can take stock, maybe resupply, catch our breath and think about what the next step is. For now, like I say, we just need to put some distance from us and that place.
Aye, well, are you suggesting we go for it? Put as much distance as we can and then worry about food. We've got enough for a day. How much water's in those skins, or has she emptied them? Anyone that checks, you will find that the water skins are all empty.
Empty, big guy.
Well, I don't know much about down here, but I'm sure we will find water before long. I mean, most of these tunnels are probably made by water. I do tend to agree. We should put some distance between us.
Then quick today, scavenge tomorrow.
Agreed.
I mean, no offense. Are you a drow, or your hair is your hair isn't white, which is quite unusual for a drow. Sevatar, is it?
I'm Elven.
Well, I am Elven myself, as you know. A pleasure.
Likewise, and thanks for your help back there. It's a shame we couldn't get everybody out. But they played their part.
Who did we lose? Should we go back for them? The gnome and the...
No.
Certainly not in our current state.
They're long gone by now.
Dead. You mean they're dead?
Or they're either dead or they've been recaptured, and some of them are probably eaten by one of the spiders or something. It's not worth paying any mind to now.
Oh.
And death is death. It'll happen to us all at some point. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
I thought it had happened to you, to be honest. The green lady did something, brought you back. So, onward then. Do you need someone to... Sorry.
I am beginning to see how you all got caught. You do an awful lot of talking.
I don't know where to go. I'm waiting to follow somebody.
And how did you get caught? Little clockwork thing.
Overpowered.
It's a reasonable answer, I suppose.
What about you?
I was sticking my nose where it didn't belong, which upset a few people. Sorry, a fucking fly. Ilvara thought I was sticking my nose where it didn't quite belong, and I wasn't particularly a big fan of the slave culture that we have. So I was trying to argue against that, and the result was I got thrown in with everyone else.
That sounds very stupid of you. You've got me doing it now. She's gonna fly off.
You see, it's easier to do.
You know what we need? We all need a leader. So where is Bapido?
Oh, I don't think I agree with that statement. But
Well,
Bupido will be the
doesn't
leader,
anyone-
yes. Bupido
Bupido-
very much wants to go to Gracklstugh. Very much.
Well, that seems to make our decision for us then, doesn't it?
Malise,
It is a great distance away, though.
I
A
know you
month
suggested
of travel.
Gracklstugh. I'm not sure it's the closest destination. I spoke to the fish guy in the cell, and he said his settlement was closer. Whether he's telling the truth and whether we will be welcome there.
So that would be, I believe he was talking about Slubladup.
Yeah.
strange
Bupido
name.
eats fish. Bupido is happy to eat fish. Is that where we get food for our trip to Gracklstugh?
You don't eat these ones, Bupido.
Eh?
They will fight back.
There are so many of us now, and with Bupido's sharp tactical mind, we will destroy them. Surely.
I'm sure we could, but we don't need to. We'll get more from them by approaching peacefully. I think. I hope.
Bupido is also an excellent diplomat.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. But I think it might be closer.
It is closer. It's north of where we were. For the directions, for the options that we had. And what kind of DM? What kind of settlement is Slubladup?
It is. I mean, it's not a city in the sense that a drow would call it a city, but it has. I mean, you've not been, but you've heard that it is relatively civilized. That the Kuatoa are strange creatures. They're quite alien and different to a normal humanoid, but they have buildings. They have organized religion. They have, a hierarchy and a structure. So, yeah, they are a city in a sense.
Okay, and then what kind of... Who would we find at Gracklstugh?
So Gracklstugh is Durgar, or Grey Dwarves. I think you and Drodyn would definitely know. Tink might know a little bit. That the Durgar are very, very lawful creatures, but they are not very welcoming of outsiders, although they do let outsiders in for trading. You know that their laws are absolute and quite brutal for even minor crimes. But if you stick within the law, it's probably as safe as anywhere in the Underdark. The challenge is knowing what all the laws are.
Is
If we
Slibladub on the way to Gracklstugh?
no, it's in the opposite direction. If we want to go to Slibbled, we will have to either continue heading this way until we can join onto the Dark Lake, and then hopefully follow the shoreline, or we will have to try and skirt back round and try and go unnoticed.
Problem is, Gracklstugh is a month away, and we have rations for 1 day. I think the closest settlements will enable us to resupply and plan for a longer journey.
But that is still at least 8 days away, if not longer, depending on which way we decide to go.
I'd rather scavenge for 8 days than a month.
He does raise a very good point.
I'd rather
Right,
go to
but we'll-
Gracklstugh, but
Hmm.
it makes sense.
Are we sure these fish people will trade with us? What do we have to trade? I don't think my money's here.
Nothing
I can.
in the material sense. If we're strong enough, we can maybe work, offer some labour, do some jobs.
Maybe offer some healing.
Yeah. We're a resourceful bunch. We have skills to trade, hopefully. And they do have a reputation of sorts. But down here is a strange place, as you all know, and it can surprise you what reactions you get from different people and cultures when you least expect them.
So, do we want to head for Slubladub then?
Only if it means I can keep hearing you say Slubladub.
I would much rather never have to say it ever again than bring you any more joy.
Okay.
Loop loop loop.
Did someone
Slubladub.
detach my ears?
Maybe. Are they mechanical also?
Could I've got a dagger. I'll definitely do something about that if that is what you wish.
Only joking.
No, I'd be careful of doing such a thing around so many drow. But if we are going to head to Slubladub, do we head towards the lake? It will add a couple more days, but it means we don't have to go back to Velkenveld. Or do we try and head back and sneak around that crossroads that we came to?
Heading back is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I have to agree with the lady there. Who's going to navigate? That's my question.
I mean, I have a general idea, but I don't know it in any great detail.
Navigation was
Most
never
of
my
my
strong.
time.
I will, if don't know my way from here, but if you can get me to Gracklstugh, then I can definitely navigate to either Blingdenstone or potentially Gauntlegrim. Gauntlegrim is a very long way even from Gracklstugh, so I appreciate that. Perhaps, I mean, that's the question. Ultimately, what's the end goal here? I would like to go home, but I appreciate half of you are not creatures of the surface. So, where do you want to go? We can't live our life out in some fish village. That doesn't sound very good to me. Or am I being a bit dramatic?
The way things seem to be shaping up for us these days down here, and maybe the surface isn't such a bad option.
Have you ever been?
Not in any real sense.
It's our chances are slim, but we got this far. I'm personally with you all. I will take your lead. If you want to go to Gracklstugh, I will follow. I have a kind of direction sense down here, as many dwarves do. But I'll be honest, I don't know these tunnels. I can point us in the right direction.
Sorry,
I
are we
mean-
just going to let that go? You've not been to the surface in any real sense.
What do you mean? What? Sevatar?
Yeah.
I don't know, have you? Is he a drow?
I'm elvish.
I didn't think drow elves like sunlight. Painful, isn't it?
You don't have to like it if it's safer.
Aye. I mean, Gortlegrim is my home, and it is near surface, but it's not on surface. I mean, if you prove yourself and show yourself to be trustworthy, and she turns and looks at Malise, and then Drodyn, then I could put a word in for you. Maybe they would let you settle there. I mean, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. We got to live that far, haven't we? I don't fancy my chances for a month down here on my own. With you lot, we have a chance.
What do you two want? You appear to be exiled from your people. She's looking at the drow.
I don't really know.
Yeah, we can't exactly go home anymore.
Where is your home? There are a number of drow settlements and cities.
I was from the city whose name I've already forgotten.
Menzo Baranzan.
Menzo
Big
Branson, that's the one.
Aye, well, you would have probably spent the rest of your life there in chains, doing menial work. So be grateful that these fine folk helped you escape, as I'm grateful to Malise for saving my life. I have every chance of seeing my daughter again because of you.
I just want to get away from here.
Okay.
I'm
Take us
sure
to
I
the
can come up with a plan on the way.
take us to the Dark Lake, and hopefully by the time we get there, we'll have decided whether to push on or veer off to Slublidub.
Aye, and Dark Lake is what, slightly to north for you. Malise, you have got something in your journal called partial map, which will give you an idea of where
Yeah.
everything is.
So
I'm not
trying
going to
figure
show it
out
to everyone
exactly
else.
of where we are. So if we come out of like Velkenvelve,
Yeah, so you have come out of the if you sort of go to the leftmost tunnel, can you see
and
the
then
map?
down and yeah,
Yeah, you've gone slightly down. I mean, there's more tunnels than appears on this map. This is almost a map of the widest tunnels that you know of, but there are crisscrossing smaller tunnels and rivers and streams that crisscross. In fact, let me change the map so that the stream can see it.
I believe if we find a tunnel that goes north or northwest, then hopefully that should take us where we need to go.
Pick one.
We just
We'll
don't
follow.
want it bringing us too close to Valkenvolve.
Are you muted, Matt?
I think I am. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Well-
Go again.
Well, perhaps if we head to
talking is all.
perhaps if we head to the Dark Lake, we'll be able to find some of that rather famous Dark Lake stout.
Campaign bleed.
I imagine Gracklstugh will have
I've
that.
heard good things about that.
Yeah, I vaguely recall hearing some goblin running through the tunnels screaming at it the other day. Very strange.
Well, come on, we should get a move on. Is everyone okay
Okay.
at the moment?
I can walk.
I'll help the injured chap. He can lean on me, old boy.
Thank you.
So we go quickly, do we?
As quickly as we can do with
Yeah, I think so.
wounded in the group.
Torpedo's legs are short. He is not so quick, but he is invincible. So quickness does not matter.
It's a good trade-off, Papido. Sounds like you got the good end of the stick there.
The two deep gnomes just seem to be holding back and sort of staying out of everyone's way. They seem a little bit distrusting. They just stick together. They listen and they stay relatively close, but they're not really in the group. They're just on the outskirts. So we go.
Matt, with the map,
Mhm.
are we coming from the bit that's very, very, very in the corner, or are we coming from Valkenvelve? Or will Valkenvelve, is that actually another settlement?
Yeah, so if you go from Valkenvalve, if you go basically left, and as you move through
That's where
this
we went.
tunnel, yeah, just to the left, that's where you went. So you effectively have a set of tunnels that goes south-west, and also a tunnel that goes slightly north and then off to the west. So you're sort of at that junction point there.
Okay, so we want the one that goes north and then west.
It is the quickest way you think. You're not intimately familiar with this area, but from the maps that you've seen, you believe that's the quickest way to the lake. And from there, yes, you can go any direction you want. Okay, whoever is leading, can you roll? Sorry, yeah.
Before we go, I want to poke the blue magic stuff with Mage Hand.
No.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
And while she's doing that, Drodyn will use prestidigitation to clear all the water and blood off of his suit.
Okay, sure.
Dev scuttles backwards.
Okay. Pink first, then. What are you doing?
I just saw it react to Malice using magic, so I thought I'd throw something in because she's intrigued by this kind of stuff.
Okay. So you cast Mage Hand.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you perform your magical rite and summon this floating magical hand. Roll a d20 for me. Sorry, no. In fact, yeah. Yeah, no, nothing. Nothing seems to happen. Your hand, this weird magical light, just seemed to sort of cling and dance around your mage hand, but you don't notice any difference in the way it performs or any side effects. It just seems to be a pretty magical light.
I do wonder if it would react any differently if we did something a little more violent.
That's a good idea.
You might as well.
You're an enabler.
So dare I ask real fast before someone attempts to firebolt it or something? Is there any response to Drodyn using prestidigitation that I should be potentially concerned
Yeah,
about,
you
seeing as that's
roll.
on him?
What are you using prestidigitation to do?
It's just to like dry off any of the water that's still lingering on his suit and clean off any blood stains from the fact he's still at 1 hit point.
Okay, roll a d20.
Because he did get messed up by that Quaggoth. Of course, I got a natural 20.
Yeah, no, you dry everyone. Well, you dry your clothes and then that of your colleagues very, very quickly. Again, you notice this weird blue dancing light sort of clings to them as you use the spell and clings to you, with these weird sort of pulsating lights just dancing around you. But again, it doesn't seem to affect what the spell does or any such things. It just seems to work as normal.
More comfortable now, at least.
So go on then. Are you going to attack it?
You will see the spectral mage hand disappear, and Tink will go up to a wall and say, "Come on, just do something!" And instead, she'll put her hand against it and shocking grasp the wall.
Hey, roll. Well, I won't make you roll to hit to cast on the wall, but yeah, roll a d20 for me.
Malise will turn to Sevatar, who's mentioned about her being an enabler, and going, I just really want to know what exactly she's made out of.
You may yet find out.
Okay. You zap the wall with the shocking grasp. Again, it seems to work as normal. You do notice these little flashes of blue light when you cast it, but it doesn't seem to change the effect. If you want to keep trying this, and just tell me how long for and who's doing it, and
Guys, this is fascinating and everything, but we need to move. We've just escaped a concentration camp.
Something. It can't just be a blue light. Don't you want to know how it works?
No,
Must be a source
I'm okay not
somewhere,
knowing.
isn't there? Can I do an investigation check to see if I can figure out what might be causing, like what the source of the light is?
yeah, I'll let you or any drow roll a history check or investigation if you wish.
Okay, I'm going
Or
to cast
Arcana.
guidance on myself.
I'm
Okay. Roll a
equally
D-
good at all of this.
Roll a d20 for your guidance as
Fuck.
well.
So it's a d4, so that takes me up to 13. Not great.
Okay. Just roll a d20 for me because you did cast guidance.
Oh, that's a spell. Shit.
So if you fail the check, you still might get to know what it does.
11.
So Malise and Drodyn, you're both drow, so you would have heard of something called Fezres, which is this sort of strange magical currents which flow through the Underdark. And I would say Drodyn with slightly higher roll.
Malice got the slightly higher roll.
Oh, Malise did. 11 plus 3. No, you got 15.
Oh, mine says I got a 9.
Oh, sorry. Well, that was where yours was stopped. Malise, you would know that this is some kind of magical current which flows through the Underdark and it comes and goes. But you also know that most of the time it's harmless, but sometimes it can cause unusual random effects. There's no real way of knowing what.
Wild magic.
I wonder if this would be then. Those drows. I've no idea if I've said that properly.
I don't know how to say either, and I'm the DM.
Okay, that's fine then. That's just it's a magical current. It's generally harmless, but every now and then something strange might happen. If that's what it is, and the only thing I can think of.
Is it just naturally occurring then?
I believe so. I've not really looked into it much myself. Far more entertaining than I thought it was going to be.
I wonder if there's some way you could store it and harness it.
I mean, I would guess so. You'd have to really consider the containment system just to help maintain the current, so it doesn't run out at any point. It might have a
I'm
very
pretty
short
sure I
shelf
can.
life.
Pretty sure I can hear drow boots. I'm certain. I can hear them. They're coming.
Well,
I do think we could make use of it though.
does this happen a lot down here?
Well, I don't really know. I don't really leave the settlement. I'm sure we'll find out. We'll be wandering around enough, won't we? So maybe he's right. Maybe we should get on with that wandering.
I hope we come across it again. Keep an eye out. Seeing as you're our guide.
Anybody's keeping eyes out, please look for food and water, not mystical lights.
A random magical effect could be to generate food and or water.
Or fire bolts, or summon demons, or any number of other nasty things.
Well, if you're
Or
going
a
to have
nasty
that
thing that
pessimistic
if we
outlook.
kill, we could then eat. Anyway, let's all get a move on.
Okay. Well, lead on then, lady. Eldeth sort of. We'll follow this as far as it goes, and when it branches, you tell me where you want to go. So you move out. What kind of speed are you moving at?
Well, it definitely has to be fast now after all that procrastination.
Yeah.
God, you guys
Okay.
talk a lot. Ooh, blue light.
It's so beautiful.
Shiny.
Touch it.
You were the one grasping the wall. Okay. Yeah, you move forward at what kind of speed?
Fast.
Fast. Okay. Yeah. After a period of time, the blue light stays with you for quite a long time. You notice as you move forward that it's almost flowing like a river, and eventually you come to the end of it, and it goes dark again. And at this juncture, you find yourself with 3 tunnels ahead of you. They all seem to branch off into the darkness. You're not quite sure where it goes. Eldeth sort of eyes them all up, and I think that one dead north. This one is about northwest. That one is dead west. Which way do you want to go?
I would say I'm still not sure where we are on this map. Northwest.
Right, okay. So again, you move at speed. How sort of long do you want to travel for? It's probably about an hour since you left Velkenvelve. You move at quite a pace. Sevatar's still wounded, needs a bit of help, but you manage to move at quite a pace. First hour goes by. You have to help those who can't see. Again, it's pitch black. And then you hear the gentle trickling of water. You hear it well before you see it. And eventually the cavern opens out again, and you have this... Those of you without night vision, suddenly this pitch darkness turns into this faint blue and green light. The cavern opens up, and you can see sort of along one wall this sort of green lichen clinging to the wall and giving off this faint green light. And then off to your left are these strange fungi with these orange strands sticking out of the top, which give off this faint orange light. And it's
Guess I'm
actually
still
quite
holding Stool
beautiful.
at this point.
Yeah.
Stool, do you know anything about this? Think any of this is edible? And I'll put him down like I'm not quite sure whether you can talk. So if you think some of it is edible, could you maybe hop up and down and then take us to it? And if it's not, just stay still.
Okay, you still sort of does a little shuffle of his feet. You can't really work out where his face is, but he sort of turns and then stops. You think he might be facing you. It's hard to know. There's this puff of these strange spores in all directions, and you just feel this presence in your mind and all of these mental connections with everyone else caught in the spores.
Stool doesn't know what softers eat. Softers don't eat stool, do they?
No, we well, I don't know about all of them. But no, we won't eat you. But do you know what any of this is?
Stool knows what some of it is. This one, this glowing one, is called nightlight. But it only gives off light while it's still in the ground. If you pull it up, it will stop shortly after. If you touch it, it will go out. The moss is all moved. It gives off light as well. If you dry it, you can make phosphorus powder that will glow.
Which one was that? And Tinky's going to go over and start harvesting it.
So will Drodyn. It's like I could do with phosphorus. There's always a need for phosphorus.
Yeah, so there's lots of this green moss, and as you start to harvest it, you can feel that the wall is actually warm, quite damp. There's some sort of water trickling down, but the rock itself is quite warm. And indeed, as you harvest it, it continues to glow. It's not bright light; it's very dim, but it does continue to glow.
Those ones.
It sort of waddles off towards these quite large blue-capped mushrooms, which are actually bigger than Stool.
You can't eat those ones. But softers make bread from it, I think. Can't eat them raw.
But you think that they can be eaten if they're cooked?
Hang up. Stool only needs to eat rich soil. Rich soil where something is dead.
Well, we'll try and find you some of that. There were plenty was back at the settlement, but I'm not so sure out here. But we'll see what we can do.
We should get some of
Keep it nice and
these
healthy, haven't we?
blue caps. If we can't, even if we can't eat them or bake with them right now, maybe we can trade with them at the next settlement.
Oh, look.
And he sort of waddles off again, and you see him walking off towards these these sort of weird squat mushrooms that are extremely broad. It's almost like a mushroom but without the cap. In fact, it almost looks like a barrel or a cask.
These have water. Softers and Stool like water.
Okay. Do you know how we get the water out of it?
Make a tap. Make a hole. The water will come out. Stool likes water.
Okay, we'll get you some water. Has anyone got something that we could use maybe as a tap, or any ideas of how we could get water out of this?
I'll just go over to one, stick my dagger in it pick one up, stick my dagger in near the bottom, expecting it to pour out like a barrel.
And indeed it does. You punch the hole in with your dagger, and this crystal clear water begins to pour out.
I'll
Put
offer it
the
to Stool.
water skin underneath it straight away as well.
Yeah.
Okay. From that you would get it just keeps pouring and pouring. In fact, 7 gallons of water just come out of several of these things. If you want to, you can literally go through and puncture quite a few of them, and a great deal of water will come out. I don't know how many water skins you've got. Probably one each.
Mm-hmm.
So you would easily be able to fill 7 water skins.
And then
Okay.
does the water seem okay?
Roll survival check. Anyone that wants to test it before they drink it.
More like it.
Yeah, I mean, Jago, you smell it. It smells clean. There's no smell of rot or bacteria or anything that smells off. Malise, you're pretty certain that you've seen these things grown in the city, and the water should be quite pure, as long as and in fact you would know it's called a barrel stalk. As long as it's not got any rot on it, it should be quite safe to drink.
We'll just do a quick check of the actual barrel stalks just to make sure, and then as long as they're not looking dodgy,
In
Okay,
fact, with
this
that roll,
needs
you
to
would
be
know
cooked.
that they're also edible.
Do they need to be cooked to be eaten, or?
I mean, they're not very tasty, but yeah, they can be eaten raw or they can be cooked. And once the water's out of them, they're a bit more easy to cook.
Okay, so well, now we've got some water. I believe that this could also be quite edible. I mean, if it's storing clean water, can't be too much that's bad for us in it, can it? So should we try and harvest a bit of this,
I think so.
and then when we settle down for the evening, we should be able to hopefully cook it.
Okay, again, I'll use your previous survival roll. It was quite good. Yeah, you remember seeing someone carve this stuff, so you manage. There's a core in the center which is not very edible, but you manage with a dagger to sort of work your way around, shave these mushrooms, and you manage to get 7 pounds of
I
edible.
imagine it to be like a doner kebab kind of thing in a fish and chip shop.
Exactly,
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like shaving a doner kebab. Yeah.
But the doner kebab has the texture of a sponge.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about it actually physically eating mushrooms, but at the moment it might help our character survive. Okay. Stool, is there anything around here else that you think would be useful, or anything that you've got any interest in?
If you search and ask Stool, Stool will tell you. If Stool knows. Stool is only small.
Being small
Thank
doesn't
you.
mean you're not useful.
Stool is small in time. Stool has not been growing long.
Oh, you're only young.
Yes,
Well, you seem very wise for one so young.
3 cycles.
Okay, well, we'll do our best to make sure you at least see 4.
As much as we
Oh,
can
we'll be
promise at this
grateful.
moment.
Will you take Stool home?
Where is your home?
Neverlight Grove is Stool's home. Will you take Stool to Neverlight Grove? Can we go now? I know the direction, even if I don't know the way.
If we were to go to Neverlight Grove, Stool, what are there people? Are there softs there?
My people are there.
And what are your people?
My people are one. We meld. We live in peace.
Okay. And how would they
We use
feel
dead
about
softness to make rich
outsiders?
soil.
Well,
That escalated
we do
quickly.
make
It
very,
fucking did, didn't it?
but no, we do make brilliant soil. There's so many different nutrients in us that mushrooms do need to live. So it's quite an interesting concept, really.
Still, you don't make the soft as dead, do you?
No. We find the softest dead.
Yeah, I thought so.
Some we make soil, and some we use to work.
Too much.
What do you mean work?
Well, before they're soil, they're good for work. For a time, and then they fall apart and become soil.
Do you make them work, Stool? Or do they
The
like to
sovereigns
work
make them
for you?
work.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
don't like anything. They're dead. Dead softers don't like anything.
Yeah.
This-
You
Or
know,
do they?
if we was to go with you to your home, would you make us work?
Only if you're dead.
Well, that seems more than fair, really.
Sounds rather macabre, I think, personally.
Well, no. Once we're dead, there's not much more that we can do. We might as well be useful for our little friend
Yeah.
here.
It's the working before we're dead part.
I don't think he's talking about slaves in the same way that the drow,
I think he might
how we
be.
might.
I think he might be.
No. I get the feeling it's more of an animated corpse. It's quite interesting, really.
No, he said the sufferings make them work.
No, the sovereigns.
Oh,
Sovereigns
Oh,
rather.
sovereigns.
oh, I thought sufferings. Right,
No,
okay.
dead things don't suffer,
Got
do
you.
they?
No, no, they don't.
They might.
Oh,
But no, I think once things are dead, they're dead. Then all that they're really good for is the grave, or
Oh,
the
that's not true.
soil. Well,
Yes. Softers
as
are interesting alive and interesting dead. We need them when they're dead.
they're good for experiments. They're good for soil, but who they are is no longer there. The person they are is no longer matter.
Do you know that? Have you been dead?
Well, I've been close to it, and I have dealt with enough.
As much as I'm enjoying this rather macabre philosophical discussion, I feel like this may hold us up longer than we intend.
That is true.
Who
And we
just
should
wants to
probably
go home?
and we'll do our best to get you there, Stool.
Our people will give you much fertilizer.
Oh, I get paid in rotting corpses.
what riches?
You can meld with them like you meld with me. You can share all your thoughts and they will share all theirs. You will see the mind of our town and our city.
Think about how much we could learn.
Maybe I should have been a necromancer.
What's a necromancer?
Are you interested in becoming one?
I don't know what one is.
They're people who raise the dead.
Sovereigns.
Uh,
Raised but not alive.
I suppose there's quite a similarity there, I suppose.
Return to the source.
Not quite so much on that point.
I would actually be very interested to see how that works, but Stool, I think for the time being, the survival of the party as a whole is the primary objective, after which we can consider taking you home depending on how far out the way it is and how useful you continue to be.
What is useful?
What you're doing right now, telling us what we can eat and drink.
Oh, Stool doesn't know everything.
You know more than us.
Stool doesn't know what softers eat. Even tiny softers like you. What do you eat?
same as big softers, just not quite so much.
If you find more things, Stool can check them.
Thank you, Stool.
And he sort of, again, he sort of turns slightly. Can't really tell which way he's facing. You've still got this connection in your mind for a few minutes more. And he just seems to go quiet and wait.
Okay.
I'll try and do an investigation to see if I can find anything, but I only rolled an 8.
Okay, it's a survival check if you want to try and find any more, please. Sorry. Which I know probably no one's got, but
Survival.
anyone that
Oh, yeah.
wants to roll can. That's even worse.
Drodyn's going to hunt around looking for bugs and the like. So
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Okay, all right.
Rowan's good spell components.
Sevatar, you oh dear, think. You sort of have a wander around, and it's hard to see in this dim light. A lot of these things look the same. But as you're looking around with that, you find this weird growth, and there's just one of them. And it's really odd because at first it looks like this. There's no other way of putting it. It looks like a load of noses all growing off this stalk. They literally look like a humanoid nose in texture, shape, everything. They don't have nostrils, of course, but yeah, they're completely bizarre looking. You don't know what they are, but they look very different to everything else in this place.
Stool. Call Stool over.
Still kind of waddles over.
Stool is here.
What's this, my little fun guy? Somebody had to. It's out the way now. It's out there. It's done. It's out
Can
of my
we get a
system.
dad joke
Hmm.
sound effect?
Ba-dum-tsh.
This.
What?
I think this is. Eat one and find out.
That
Safe
wasn't
to
the
eat.
deal. That wasn't the deal we struck before. It's safe to eat.
Yes.
Insight check.
Okay, go for it. I don't know how you're going to insight a mushroom with no face.
No.
And
Me neither.
okay, yeah, you really study Stool. You're not even sure where the face is. It's under the cap somewhere. And you decide that that's not going to work. So you just concentrate on the intent in this connection in your mind. You get the feeling he believes it's safe to eat. But you also get the feeling he doesn't quite know how to convey what this is to you. You get the feeling there's something more to it, but you're not sure.
Can I examine the plant in more detail, see if I can figure it out on my own, like smell or texture, or if there's any other insects around it, or how would they interact with it, and that sort of thing?
Okay, yeah. Are you just looking at it? Are you gonna cut piece off? What's your
Just
approach?
looking at it initially.
Okay, as you look closer, I mean, you got a crit before. it definitely has like a very slight fragrance to it, and as you look closer, you also see at the bottom of the stalk this weird growth that literally looks like a human tongue. And at first, you think it is a human tongue. It's quite disgusting. It's pink. It's small and it's slightly wet. You think it's probably a separate plant.
I'm on 1 hit point. I'm backing off.
Can I just as you said that, I just had this.
You can have a
flashback.
short rest, by the way. You all was talking for about an hour. I'll let you have a short rest if you
Okay,
want one.
good.
Sorry, Veronica.
I had this flashback to Steve looking at plate.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to forget that.
What has been seen cannot be unseen.
Oh, the tongue is good. The tongue puts what's inside outside.
Oh no.
No.
That doesn't sound like something I want. I like to keep what's inside inside.
Well, what's inside is outside now. The way we speak. Everything you hear is my thoughts. Everything I hear is your thoughts. Inside is outside.
So it replicates that effect. Is that what you're telling me still?
For softers, yes.
Okay.
Everything inside becomes outside.
I'll tentatively, nervously, head shied away, arm outstretched. Oh, yoink. Pick the tongue up.
Yeah, you pick it up. It kind of stretches slightly and then gives that sort of weird giving way that a fungus would.
You're still
It's
in
wet
still
and
in
slimy.
still voice.
Sorry. Yeah, you pull it and it gives way. It's wet and slimy.
Okay. What should I add to my inventory, or will you do that?
I will do that. Yeah, you can just add it as tongue fungus.
Oh, I think I've had
That
that
sounds-
before.
That sounds so much worse when you say it like that.
I know. Are you taking any of the noses, the nose fungus?
Oh, well, I'm not on 1 hit point anymore. Yeah, go on.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to get 2 of those safely. The rest of them seem to sort of disintegrate as you harvest the 2. But yeah, you get 2 of these nose fungi.
Oh,
Yes. Yes, small is softer.
I forgot I took this from Valve, and she'll produce the mushroom that she took in that little cavern with the big fluffy things. Quaggoths.
Okay. Yeah.
What does this do?
It's for eating.
Good. She'll put it back in her pack. More rations for me.
Oh, is there any
Okay.
soil around here that would be good for you?
You can eat the fungi if there is no soil.
Wouldn't that be kind of cannibalistic?
These ones have nothing inside. They do not
Feels-
see or hear or think.
Still feels a little bit strange.
Well, if we take some and cut it up and then mix it up with some soil and leave it for a few days, how would that be? Would that be a bit better than just normal plain soil?
Needs dead softers for it to be rich soil. Do you have small versions of you with no mind that you eat on the surface?
On the surface, I don't know.
Veronica's face.
So many.
Mm.
So many. So many softers with no minds.
Just for the
Well-
stream, we are not promoting cannibalism. We are very much against cannibalism.
I know we seem to be promoting vegetarianism pretty hard.
We do. We do. You're promoting not eating anything, I think. You don't even want to eat mushrooms.
Why would you?
Well, because that's all there is.
I think I'd rather starve.
I starve.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
going to describe every mushroom in depth.
Like, mushrooms are amazing, like in the way in which they exist, but I don't want to eat them. So this is very weird. But yeah. Okay. So are people still searching, or should we attempt to get a bit of a move on again?
Back on.
Okay, you probably spend about half an hour in all searching and harvesting what mushrooms you can find.
So we got
and
7
indeed,
water skins full, didn't we? How many? Sorry.
yeah.
how
So
many
I've
of the
put that in
edible
party
mushrooms?
resources.
Thank
So
you.
if you go into the character tab, there's at the top it says party resources. I think you had 7 food and 7 water, so I've put it in there. In effect, you need 1 of each per person per day. So there is, how many of there are you? Yeah, so you've got you plus 6, that's 11 people. So you will need, you've got rations obviously to cover 10. You will need 4 more water, and tomorrow you'll need more food, but you've got something.
Do our resources get affected by the size of different people, like Durandal and Tink?
Yeah, Derendil you suspect will probably eat more, but it's probably cancelled out by Tink,
And we
if that
add
makes sense.
10 for the rations we have. Or are
You've
we
got
just
10. You've got 10 rations. I can put them on there if you want.
Or are we just
unless-
assuming we eat them today?
Again, if you want to keep all the food on here, you can. If you want to keep stuff on your
I
character,
was
that's
thinking we
fine.
should keep the dry rations and eat the perishable stuff first.
Huh. Let's go find more mushrooms.
Are you searching for more, or are you moving on?
Moving on.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out while we go.
Does that mean we're slowing from fast to normal?
No, surely, like if we just see one sitting on the side of a cave, we can go, oh, might be something. Pick that up.
Certainly try. So you're moving normal speed now? Or fast?
Ooh,
I
what
think we
big-
should
Yes,
still go
indeed.
fast.
Fast. Yep,
Yeah.
fast.
Okay, fast it is then. Fuck the mushrooms, we'll find them later.
Okay. You pick up your pace and you follow the tunnel. The green lichen seems to continue for quite a while. You pass through another cave. Excuse me. Another cave with the sort of similar lichen, but it's orange and gives off a nice warm glow. and you probably for another 3 or 4 hours without much issue. As you exit the area with the glowing lichen, you feel this for the first time in a while. The sense of wind, movement of air, and also the sound seems to open up like you're coming up to somewhere that's a lot larger, a huge cavern, maybe a high ceiling, but the light fades. And then it opens up in front of you, this huge cavern. You can't see where the ceiling is. You can't see where the bottom is. It is this huge chasm. But the size of the walls are relatively close, probably 100 to 150 meters across, narrower in places, more open in others. And you can see between these walls, upwards, downwards, sideways, these strands of spider webs zigzagging across this chasm out in front of you.
Oh no.
Perhaps a quieter approach for this area. I don't particularly fancy wrestling with spiders.
Is there any? So ignoring all the strands and webs, is there a path?
The cavern just drops straight off below you, far beyond your dark vision, so you can't see the floor, but you
Malise,
can
have we taken a
see.
wrong turn?
You can see at the end of some of these webs holes in the walls, almost as
Oh.
if they're paths that zigzag across the cavern.
It's going to cast mage armor.
Okay.
Malise, have you been this way before?
No, I've got a general idea of where the towns are, but I haven't visited many of them.
I'm following suit with mage armor because that's a smart idea. I'll see Tink do it and be like, "Yeah, good idea, good call."
So I guess we'll need to rappel down the side of this cavern face to get to the bottom to move along. Try and avoid the web thing. Having said that, if it's deep enough that dark vision can't see to the end of it, then we might not have enough rope.
How much rope do we have?
I have 50 feet.
I don't know if I have any.
I think there was 2 lots of 50 feet in there.
Alternatively, we try and navigate these strands. I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Might be the
Oh.
only way that we have.
How far across is it?
It disappears beyond your vision. Well, you can't see anything anyway, but even those with dark vision can see that it goes off for thousands of feet ahead of you. You can't see the bottom and you can't see the ceiling. Malise and Sevatar, as you're discussing and trying to observe, you think you see something small zip across one of the webs incredibly quickly. It's a blur. You didn't quite make out what it was. It wasn't big. Smooth
There's
and
something
quick.
out there. Something out there. It's only small, but it's very quick.
Aye, what do we do? Do we go back or do we go across?
Can we afford to go back now?
That's the question.
No, we can't.
I don't see any spiders, but I'm assuming there are some.
The thing that zipped across, what sort of, was it? Think about what you're trying to say, Steve.
Halfling sized.
Halfling sized.
Mm-hmm.
And
humanoid, you would guess.
humanoid, okay. I was going to ask about the type of movement. Was it like scuttly spider?
It was no, it was weirdly smooth. It was almost like it was just sliding along the webs. There was no you didn't see any leg movement or arm movement. It was literally just almost like it was stationary sliding down this web.
Cool. Got anything for us here?
Old's got nothing.
Who else is with us?
Right.
What about the two little deep gnomes?
What do you want of us?
Anybody that's here, has anybody seen anything like this before? Anyone know what we're looking at?
It's the silken paths. Yes, it is the silken paths. You can traverse them if you're careful. Or you could be spider food if you're not.
Do you want to show us how it's done?
Not on our own. No, not on our own. And sort of they're one after the other speaking. It's almost like a continuous voice, but it is two of them.
I don't mind giving it a go, but I mean, if you give me some advice on what I need to do or how I need to tackle this.
Well, we go across. Yes, we go across. And we do not make too much vibrations in the web. If you make vibrations in the web, yes, they will be dinner for the spiders.
Is the web strong enough to support a creature of Derendil's size?
Mostly. You don't know to try. Do we go or do we go back?
If we go, our biggest issue is having to figure out where in our order Durandal will go. If we want to send him last, or if we want to throw him in the middle so that there's someone in front and behind him.
Durandal.
What, send him first? Yes, send him first. If they break, then we know not to go. Yes, we know not to go.
Well, that wasn't quite my intention. I was thinking more of helping him if a spider attacks him, but if he's willing to go first.
I'm not the most dexterous of creatures, dear boy. Perhaps when I was elf, I would have made light work of it, but I'm not an elf anymore. But if you think it's best that I go first, then, well, I'm not going to say no.
Where would you prefer to go, Durandal? Front, middle, or back?
Well, my view is if I go last, then I'm not going to break the webs for you, am I?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Any of us help him if he was to break the webs?
Well, we do have some rope and we can tie off. think that might help. But we need to know which of these holes we want to try and get to. Tink, if you can fly, maybe you could scout ahead. See if you can.
Fly, I can't see.
Ah,
I can send some mobile lights with you, but they won't travel too far.
can you carry a torch?
Good. Will it disturb whatever's waiting in the webs? I don't want to walk in just drawing attention.
Gnome
Hey, look, if
folks?
you're all too chicken to go, I'll go, shall I?
I don't
Give
mind
me a
going. I
torch, I'll
want to
scout
know
it
which one I'm
out.
going to.
Anyone that, well, Malice, or if you want to roll a survival check based on your map, I will let you.
I'm going to cast guidance on myself first, just in case.
Okay.
Sorry, that wasn't supposed to roll twice. So the first roll is the.
Oh,
Okay.
We can take the second one. We can take the second one.
Yeah, no, well, they're both good. They're both good. You again, you've never been here before, but you do know that there's talk of a very long series of, well, a very long chasm, which the only way across it is via the spider webs. So you believe if you can get to the other side, then the tunnel will carry on. With that roll, you would also know that it's incredibly deep, so it's probably 200-300 feet deep. So you would need a lot more rope, or to climb down the sides, and obviously risk falling.
Seems that going across would be risky, but probably the easiest option. I don't think we have enough ropes to help lower us down. It's far too far, and we definitely wouldn't survive the drop. Not quite sure about climbing it. I think following the silk, if we go straight across it, the path should continue.
Erendil, I want you to take my rope when you go across. Tie it round your waist or whatever you think's best. And when you
Oh yes, dear boy.
get on the strands, try and loop it around a strand, and then if you do fall or slip, you hang on to the strand and you can climb back up, hopefully.
You're going to hold me up, not
No,
me holding you up.
no, the strand is going to hold you up. You tie it to the strand and slide it along with you.
I see. And if the strand breaks?
Nothing we can do.
Not
Very
much
well,
any of us
if
can do if any of us fall.
no,
We have
it
to look
seems
for
not.
the thickest, strongest strands and choose those.
Very good.
Then you should let him go first, no? If it can take Durandil, it could take all of us.
And if it can't, we're all stuck here.
Aye, well. So Derendil's going, is he?
Or we all climb down. just as dangerous, but maybe not attracting any spiders.
Hmm. Right. Well,
Thinking about the creature that we saw, it seemed quite low to the silk. It didn't look like it was walking, did it?
no. It was more sliding. It was quite odd. You almost wonder if you actually saw it or not, but you're pretty sure you did. In fact,
Well,
let's.
I wonder if it would be better to almost pull yourself across rather than walking or doing anything that creates too much of a vibration. Do you think that would be possible, Grendel?
Yes, dear lady, I do my best. I've never done this before, obviously. I'm not the lightest on my toes, but I'll do my best.
Hopefully this
If
way you
that's
won't
what
have
you
to
need.
be on your toes.
No, my toes have claws on, actually. That's not a good idea. Good point. Okay. Sorry?
Off topic. Can Daphne cast
Mhm.
light on me because I can't see a damn thing?
She can't.
Oh, I
You
didn't
go.
want to see.
You didn't want to see that. Yeah, you can see, as you look now, you can see a number of almost like pillars of stone with flat tops. In fact, there's one a short way off that seems to have almost some sort of ruins of a tent or something. It's shredded and obviously no good anymore. And actually, you can see a lone wooden chair sat on this pillar. Between there and here, lots of individual strands of web.
How far away is it?
I don't know. Can you see it? No, you can't see it. It's
Oh,
probably about 70 feet away.
I can see this one.
Mm-hmm. There's another one just beyond it. Yeah.
So how far away is this one? Oh,
About
right, yeah, this is
40,
it.
40 feet.
Cool. Okay, that's enough for a rope if one of us can get across. And if enough of us get across, and Derendil goes last, should he break anything, there's enough of us to hold the rope, hopefully.
Could you be able to fly it across?
I don't know if I could take the weight of 50 feet of rope.
That's fair.
I'll let you roll for it.
I won't turn down the opportunity. What do you want?
I mean, I was going to say strength, but that's probably unfair. But I would say it would be a strength roll, unfortunately.
I'm doing this
Or
not over the
athletics.
chasm. This is just me. Before the cavern going, can I lift this?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, although you're small, ooh, yeah. Although you're small, it's a bit hairy and it is a bit cumbersome, but you can hold up. You can hold up the rope.
Then I will take it over to the pillar. Doing a lot of sweating and
Okay. Yeah, you fly over to the pillar, and as you do, you again with this light spell that Daphne has cast on you, you catch something off in the distance, just on the edge of the light, and it zips across the web. It's incredibly smooth. It's just it's gone. and you think, you're not sure, you think, no one else hears this, but you do. You just hear this little in the distance.
Oh no.
Hello?
Hello.
There's no.
Hold on to the end of this rope. I'll go next.
Anything on this pillar I could tie the rope to?
It is just flat on the top. You can, again, with a bit of a survival check, you could try and tie it off on some of the rocks or on the webs. There is some rough edges. The top is flat, but it's almost like, you know, those rocks where they're in layers. It's almost like layers of rock. You tie it to one of the webs, and the web just breaks off from the rock face. So that didn't work. It's pretty obvious as soon as you tie it that it's not going to hold.
Right, so somebody's holding it where we're standing. I'm going to go next.
Okay. Yeah, you can see Tink trying to tie this rope on, but she's so small with such tiny hands, this massive rope. She's struggling to get a firm knot on anything. It just doesn't look like it will hold at the moment.
Before Seb steps off onto the rope, I'm going to tap him on the back and cast guidance.
Okay.
What do you need from me, DM?
How are you proceeding?
I'm going to try and gently lower myself over the edge to where seems to be the thickest, sturdiest strand, and I'm just going to get underneath it
Appears to
with
be at the
legs
top there.
crossed over, and then just shimmy underneath it, try and pull it, try and keep it smooth.
Okay. Roll a. Well, if you've got any abilities you think would be it would be suitable, it is quite difficult terrain. Need to roll a dexterity check, acrobatics, something like that, if you could.
You can roll an acrobatics, yeah. I'll roll the
Yeah,
d4
it's.
if I need it.
You can roll the d4 as well. You don't need it, but
Okay.
you lower yourself cautiously onto this web. You're quite nervous that it's not going to hold your weight. But indeed, as your feet go down onto it, it gives slightly, but it's incredibly strong. And in fact, because of the nearby strands, you find that you can walk across it relatively. And to anyone watching, Sev just looks like, as soon as he's on there, he's like, oh, okay, this is actually not too bad. And you have to move slowly, but you make your way, and you are next to Tink.
So I'll grab hold of the rope now, as well as or instead of Tink.
I'm useless. Take it.
Yeah, I'm not particularly strong myself, but maybe together we can help somebody. Oh, I know what I'll do. Got my equipment back now. I'll look for a sturdy bit of the platform.
Yep.
And I will try and drive a python.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it. I think it's a strength roll, isn't it, to get it in?
Okay.
It's not that difficult.
Just as well, maybe.
It's in the rock.
Okay.
They're designed to be nailed into rock, so yeah, it seems to go in.
And I'm trying to hammer it as lightly as I possibly can. Just trying to be really conscious not to make any noise. But I mean, how quietly can you hammer an iron stake into the floor?
Yeah, you gently, it takes a while, but you get it into the rock face. It does have a loop in the top where you can thread the rope through.
Okay, tie off on that.
I'm not carrying a great deal, so I could try and take Stool over. Essentially. I don't know how well that will go.
Draw the rope in there. Yeah, Stool is kind of round and a bit like a weird toddler sort of weight, a heavy toddler, but he's quite dense.
Drodyn has a bit of a like a long wool-ish type coat, so he can try and make like a little baby hammock out of that he can hold Stool in
Okay.
to try and swing it across this rope.
Yeah, sure.
So that, someone doesn't have to try and balance him and carry. So what would you like me to roll to see if Drodyn can get across?
Just give me a dexterity, please.
Dexterity check.
Sorry, Hazel.
Just saying I'd cast guidance on him as well. Like as
Okay.
people are going, I will just.
You get a guidance. You get a guidance.
You get guidance.
You use that immediately. 14.
14. Yeah, using the rope as well, you find them strangely strong, and it's not as hairy as you thought it would be. You work your way across
Don't
without
look
much
down.
issue.
Don't look down. Don't look down.
You can make your way to the pillar.
I would
Stool is
probably
with you.
send I'd probably send Daphne across next. I'll try and get pretty much everyone over.
Okay.
So me and Drodyn can go last.
Yeah, with the rope in place, yeah, just roll a dexterity check for me. You can have advantage with the rope, actually. I'll roll it for Daphne.
Okay, it didn't give me advantage.
Because I didn't think of it. But you made it anyway. Double 13. Yeah, Daphne again. She just makes it look easy. Just wanders across the web, using the rope to get across. Ooh, lucky you had advantage there, isn't it? Yeah, Malise, you also using the rope. You sidle across without much difficulty. This platform now is getting quite full. So it's a case of you may struggle to get any more on it.
Who has the second length of rope? Nobody has a second length, no?
Eldeth sort of holds a hand up. I think I've got it.
Okay.
And she rummages in her bag. Aye, it's here. Do you want me to bring it over?
Yes, please. And I'll make some room and I'll move over to the next one.
Aye, fine. Eldeth begins to work her way across. For some reason, her character sheet has turned into a chest. Hang on. I don't know what's
Well, that
going
was
on
good,
there. How weird. There we go. There we go. Again, she uses the rope that you've put in place. and makes it across easily. And she hands you the piece of rope. It's definitely full now. There's not really room for anyone else.
Oh, I'll just hover over here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tie
As
one
she
end
moves.
to the python, the other end around my waist, and I'll try and shimmy over to the next platform using the same method.
Okay. You tie the rope off and tie the other end to yourself as you're about to move across. You can indeed see this weird platform with what looks like a tent with shreds in the side and a lone wooden chair by the remnants of a long extinguished fire. And as you look down, you realise you can see a chest suspended in the webs.
Okay, one thing at a time. Need to get people across safely, so I'll ignore it for now.
Okay.
I think we'll probably follow him on a much lighter thread. She doesn't need to use the thread, but she can, so she'll go wee.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling a acrobatics. It was first time.
Yeah. Just
Cool.
a straight roll this time. You start moving across, and as you step out onto the web, you're looking down at your feet, and you suddenly get this sense of depth, and your heart speeds up a little, and you look up to try and get your bearings, and you see two things now slide across the web in opposite directions at the periphery of your vision, and that just startles you and causes you to slip, and you find yourself falling onto the webs. And indeed, you don't fall through them, but you find your arms stuck. You're lying suspended in the web with the rope on you.
Shit. Little help.
I'll flutter over.
Yeah, you can see that he's fallen, and the backs of his arms have stuck to this web. It's kind of the rope's taut, which has stopped him falling through, but he will need some help. And indeed, as you're helping him, you can see he's about here. You can see this chest suspended in the web, slightly lower down.
You've got yourself into quite a. Oh.
No, focus, tank. You just take one of my daggers here and just cut away at the pieces that are sticking me here.
I mean, the web is very strong. The dagger might not do it, but okay. And she'll have a go.
Okay, roll a dex check for me.
Uh,
It's not really an attack. It's just you're just trying to separate him from the web without completely destroying it.
Andrew's kicked me out, so I'm just gonna roll on D&D Beyond. 10.
Is that a straight roll of 10 plus 3, or is that 10 with your
That's
plus
the
3?
with plus 3. So it's 10.
Okay, you
Oh no.
try and slice in. You cut him away from one of the strands, and you just hear it go bang, and breaks, and you see Sevatar drop a little. He's not fallen, but he had 3 strands under him. He's only got 2 now.
You sure this is how we should be doing this?
No. Anything else? Any other ideas?
Leave
I'm on
you
the
here.
rope. I'm on the rope. Keep cutting.
can he move any more of himself now that one strand's broken?
He definitely can move one of his arms now, yeah. He can probably try and get himself up, but he is still stuck. His left arm and his back is still stuck to one of the strands.
Just do your back and hope that the last one's enough to keep you up.
The dex check for me.
16.
Yeah, you managed to slice enough of the web off to release him from it without actually cutting the strand. And Sevatais cautiously gets back to his feet.
Thank you, Tink. I got cocky after the first one.
But how are we going to get you back up there?
Have I dropped down a level?
You're not too far below. No, you kind of fell over, so you didn't plummet through the webs, but you did slip.
If
It was
we're
only
holding
falling
one
that
end
you
of the
managed.
rope-
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Just if we're holding one end of the rope, could we kind of try and pull him up a bit?
Yeah.
Hoist him back up.
Okay. Yeah, you can pull him up relatively easy. You help him to his feet, lift him up slightly, and get him back on the level he was on before.
I am going to try again, I think. As dangerous as this is.
Okay.
We need to get a rope across, don't we? Any objections?
No, but I will cast guidance on you.
Okay.
Better luck this time.
Here we go again. Oh, that's better.
That's pretty good. Yeah, you with that roll, you could pretty much just get straight all the way across. You shimmy past this chest. It is slightly below on the next level down, but yeah, you get across with no issues.
A quick look around before I do any hammering.
Roll a perception for me. It's only to see if you get higher than you. You got the same as your passive. You look down. Indeed, you can see this chest as you look down around each side of the pillar. You do see a number of weird cocoons, spiderweb cocoons below. There is also the remnants of an old tent here, but it doesn't look like it's been lived in for quite some time. The sides are shredded. There's these weird double slashes in several sides of this tent, and a huge portion of the canvas has been ripped away. There's a lone chair sat where there was once a fire, but again, it's not hot. It doesn't look like it's been lit in a long time. And with that roll, you can see, or can you? Yeah, you can. You can see these two little halfling-sized shapes on the webs. They seem to just be crouching in the shadow, observing you.
Okay. I'll knock another python in, or piton, I'm not sure the pronunciation, but whatever they're called. I'll knock another one of them in and tie the rope off.
Okay, just give me a strength check or a survival check actually to hammer it in. You're pretty much, yeah, that's good. We'll take that as your roll for survival. That's fine. You hammer this piton in. You've got a feel for the rock now. You manage to get it at the right angle it slightly away, hammer it in, thread the other end of the rope through. Feels sturdier than the other one, definitely.
Cool.
Can we get Derendil over before you tell us we have to stop playing and I have to wait 2 weeks to find out if he survives?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Darendil uses the rope. Makes his way to the first one.
That was with
And
advantage.
That was with
Wait.
advantage.
Oh, okay, he has advantage. Okay.
He gets a short way out. He's really clumsy. And unfortunately, he seems to stumble, forgets himself, and lets go of the rope. And he disappears down through the webs.
What?
Did you say he let go of the rope?
Yeah.
But he was
Yeah, he
tied
just
onto him,
he
so
fell, but was it tied onto him?
Yeah.
told him to
Did
tie it
he?
onto him, but
Oh,
whether he did
okay.
or not, I don't know.
The webs don't catch him?
His intelligence is very low. He didn't.
No, no, don't do this to me. No.
And that's where we'll leave it this week. I know it. I know it.
Yeah, you just you see him wander over and then just stumble, and instead of holding the rope, he just lets go and falls backwards, and then you see the realization cross his face that he was supposed to tie it on, and he just drops through the web and disappears into the darkness. And yeah, I guess we leave it there.
That moment of, wait, shit! And then he's gone.
Who's moved me?
Do we
No,
feel
I
any,
don't
like,
go over there. I follow him.
do we
This-
feel any tension on the rope, or is the rope like slack?
The rope is not slack. No, it seems to have, as he's fell through, it seems to have got caught on the web and it's stuck to the web. Whether anything's on the end of it, hard to say.
We don't know.
Oh, let's get
Tink,
Darendil across this
Damn.
session.
we probably should leave it there. It is 9:10.
The bus stand.
I'll let Tink fly down and have a look if you
10:09.
want. Yeah, exactly.
He
You
looks
see Tink.
so traumatized.
Oh, did you like him?
Where's
Oh, no.
Like
Where's
everyone.
Pepido?
It's
At least
important.
Papido's all right.
He has a similar backstory to me.
It's foreshadowing, is it?
And
Spider
he was
food.
nice. He stuck up for me.
He did. He did. He did.
Now he's probably dead.
Now he's spider food.
Looks like
Quaggoth.
Quaggoths back on the menu. Spiders.
Perhaps you can convince Stool to rescue him for softer mulch.
I like you've picked up the terminology already. Oh, V, I'm really sorry. I didn't.
He's devastated.
didn't
He
think
might not be dead. We're going to
He might
mount a
not be.
rescue mission now.
He might not be dead.
Rescue mission.
I didn't say you heard a thud or a splat or anything.
I wouldn't. It's 300 feet.
That's true.
He's quite big. He'd make quite an impact.
Yeah, I think coyote, like dust cloud.
As the session ends, let's just remember V did this.
I'm sorry. I know you told him to tie himself off, but he's got an intelligence of 6, I think. So I just don't think he was. I don't think he would remember to do it.
No, or he forgot how to tie a knot or something.
Yeah, exactly.
With a very lame bow.
Yeah, exactly. So There we go. So we will leave it there. I hope that wasn't too slow tonight. I know it's quite hard to know what to do and where to go when you're just presented with the Underdark. Off you go.
Oh, look at V's face.
Oh, mate, I'm sorry.
How could you do that?
He rolled 7 with advantage. 7 with
We
advantage.
could actually do with finding him so we can get some of the soil just to keep Stool going.
Yeah. Closure.
The circle of life.
She looks angry now.
He was the only one I
Everyone-
liked in a new group of people.
Oh,
What
Hey.
about Stool?
What about Pepido?
No, she wouldn't actually. I like Bepido and Stool. Tink wouldn't care.
Very fair.
you actually like him even though he's a mushroom, which you said before this was pretty much your worst nightmare. So that's
Yeah.
something.
But I
Well, I
imagine
enjoyed
usually he
it.
doesn't have a
His best
face.
friends are a mushroom. Yeah.
What was that?
Just about to say, my character's best friends are a mushroom and a spider. 2 things I in person cannot stand. And it's making us face off ears, V. That's all it is.
You might not be dead, V. You don't need to be grumpy for 2 weeks. You got to wait to find out if he's alive.
Got to face a
Steve.
hopefully face a weird dragon thing tomorrow, so we've got bigger things to think about.
Yeah.
I'll kill absence.
Again.
You don't need to.
Don't kill absence because Alexander will then actually have to walk out into a lake. He's already feeling guilty enough as it is.
Okay, I'm getting worried about next week now.
Yeah, you don't have
That's
to
all
kill the
I'll say.
characters, V. They're going to kill themselves with just depression and grief and angst.
Yeah, Curse of Strahd is quite grim, isn't it?
I need to give you something cuddly.
No,
Then
no,
kill.
you don't.
And then kill
Then
that.
kill it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not like a one-upmanship thing of you killed that NPC that I liked, so I'm gonna kill what you like because we don't like any of them.
TPK.
in Curse of Strahd. Yeah.
Oh, Irena's nice.
Irina is
Irina's
nice. Yeah.
The children haven't done anything
I'm
wrong.
fine if
No, that's true.
I'm fine if Irina dies. Like we've done our job there, and I'm not.
His face at that.
Personally, me, I'm not that keen on her. I'm not. Again, I'm not sure Alexander will survive any more loss.
Just as someone who plays Irina thought Irina and Alessandro were really good friends, and this is a really difficult way to find this out.
Like, needs her to live so he can live, but Hazel forgets that she's there far more often than she should do.
Hazel's over her.
Yeah.
It's hammer blow after hammer blow for V tonight.
Kill cast now. Just do it. Fine. Can I play as the
No.
dragon tomorrow?
You could be dragon food tomorrow.
Didn't think you'd be that bothered.
Kill one of the gnomes.
You didn't ask the gnome to come across.
Oh, we left him behind.
Yeah, they're still stuck on the other side.
With no rope.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
They don't need rope.
Pepido's like tightrope walking it across, and he's like made it most of the way, and we haven't even noticed.
Yeah, don't worry, I have this.
Upido is great
Let us
tightrope
fall.
walker.
This is your revenge now, V. You have to murder Pepido.
Oh, God.
Oh, like I'm going to be bothered. I don't have to do this stupid voice anymore.
Matt's gonna love it.
Okay. You have to talk to Pepido 3 times more than normal.
I can do that.
as soon as I said about a leader and where he's prepared, I was like, I regret it as soon as the words came out of my mouth.
I knew where that was going, and
Like,
I hated it immediately.
yeah, I thought it'd be funny, and I was like, oh, I have. This is a can of worms I don't want to open, but I've done it now.
Yeah, he's the official leader of whatever this group's called.
Yeah.
Downward Spiral might be a good name for it, or Diminishing Returns.
Plus the cook.
Which group are we? The Toyn Cossers?
Freefall.
Yeah,
Coin cosses. What was that? Was that Theros?
The Toincos, yeah.
yes. It was right in my
It was
head.
coin toss. That's all good fun.
So the
Still
stream's
good
still
fun.
going.
Yeah.
Uh,
No.
Shall
So
we end
that
that
was
off now?
really depressing. I don't see why you'd come back and watch again.
Yeah, it's.
Bye.
You think everyone else liked him as well? There was probably no one watching anyway, so it's fine.
Don't say that.
They'll never know. No, well, there might have been. There might have been. I
At
wasn't
least
really
you-
looking.
At least you can rewatch and relive the agony now, V. Now that
Yeah.
we've recorded these, you can relive that painful moment as many times as you like now.
I can
I'm
relive
quite
Cedric's death.
surprised.
That really hurt me.
I'm stunned and shocked that it did. I've got to be honest.
I mean, we couldn't have done any more for him. I mean, he had advantage on the roll and everything.
He did.
He could.
He did. He rolled a
He might still
7.
be alive. He might not be completely dead.
Yet.
If we've leveled up, and because we've leveled up, if I have access to my Manu spell slot, then I might be able to save him if
You
he is
do.
hurt.
Yeah. If you get
Yeah.
to him before spiders eat him, you'll be fine.
Oh, stop trying to make me feel better.
Right, so
What?
it's Icewind Dale tomorrow
It is.
at the same time.
The finale, in theory. Well, not
If
the
you want to
finale,
see
but
more people die, tune in.
PPK tomorrow, 7 o'clock, whatever time it is. Be gentle, Steve.
Well, it's not me, it's the dice. The dice will dictate what happens.
Very true. I'm looking forward to it. Feels like forever. We've been waiting for this, but
The dice and your choices.
I need to think of some last words just in case. As long as you're okay with last words.
How would you feel if Tok died tomorrow, V?
Can't die.
Would it be worse than Derendil?
Well, obviously.
I mean, Tok is tough, but I do have to point out that Tok actually can die.
I get very attached to fictional characters.
What if it's Snitch or Eris? One of your new goblin companions. Oh,
Like, I'll
thanks.
feel bad, but Tok and Cass are just.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eris wouldn't be able to stand for Tok dying.
I thought she hated him.
She does, but he's also like not being. He's not going in and now killing everything. He's actually seems to have turned a leaf and just talked to her very reasonably. So she does like Tok, even though she feels anger towards him. But she loves Shred Reader.
Yeah, we'll try not to kill him. I mean, he's very squishy. He's big
Yeah,
but
don't
squishy.
kill him. If you kill him, then Eris might go barbarian.
Nice. We did have that discussion. I think I had that discussion with Cass as well.
She started out a bit barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was always like, "Oh, maybe there's a bit of barbarian in there, and you should see if you can draw it out."
Funny, because my backup character for Icewind Dale's the Barbarian as well. So maybe we can just
Is it?
eventually eventually we could just turn it into a party of barbarians.
That
like
would
that
be
idea.
interesting.
One shot, one shot, one shot.
I'll say I've been
Just
in.
all the failed wisdom saves, though. Oh no!
I've been in a one shot that was all bards, and that was a fucking nightmare. Though.
Oh no.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I was like, it was 5 people, and I was a druid, and everyone else was a bard. You're like, oh,
That sounds like
no.
hell. Actually,
It was infuriating.
were they stereotype bards or were they not so bad? They weren't trying to seduce everything, were they?
No, but one person had secretly decided he was going to turn the one shot into a PvP session.
Oh no, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it was bad. A discussion for some other time, perhaps when we're not live.
Oh no, I'm not bothered. Oh well, yeah, that's true. I'll just stop the stream. Thanks anyone that's still
Other
watching,
people
unless
don't want to hear this.
they might do. I'm
It's
fascinated. So
The D&D horror story we could probably do like videos on or something.
yeah, okay, we'll do a podcast. Yeah, there's lots of channels that just seem to do horror stories, D&D horror stories. I've noticed
Yeah, there's fucking hundreds of as well.
they're really popular. Yeah. Right, I'm going to stop the stream. So if anyone is still about, thanks for tuning in. If anyone's watching this later, thanks for watching it later. We'll be back tomorrow. 7 o'clock, is it, Steve? Icewind Dale.
7 o'clock.
The big confrontation to save 10 towns from a dragon. I seem to have cut my nose.
Complete annihilation.
Yeah, yeah. All that sweet, sweet angst when PCs die. even more sweet than
Oh.
Quaggoths. No, I don't want to die. Please don't kill me.